You are listening and watching to a very special podcast, continuing where we left off. Enjoy! Okay, I want to go back to where was I? Oh yeah. So, I got the ideas together. Fear, Carrie, I also got some inspiration from this movie called Mama. Yeah, that horror film with the two sisters and they're adopted by this couple, yada yada. Yep, definitely that. So I got all these ideas together and I decided, okay, so I want to create these characters together, how they became to be, what happened, and what can I do? It wasn't until I discovered it. I have to find a motivation. Sure, they were tormented. Sure, they were hurt. Sure, they felt like society did not accept them. So, without further ado, I decided maybe there's somebody out there that really cares about them. So, I chose someone that can be of use, to give them purpose to do this and why they do it. So, I have chosen the one and only character by the name of Benjamin Hallows. And I guess you guys know where I got the inspiration of Benjamin Hallows and Taylor Timmons. I mean, the characteristic idea. Yeah, Victor Frankenstein. The one with Daniel Radcliffe and, what's his name? James McAvoy. Yeah. The freaking guy, James, is like an underrated actor. He is so brilliant, I just don't understand. Also, he's a pretty thing. Anyway, so, here's the story with Ophelia and how she got her children in the first place. And here are some symbolism. The name Ophelia came from Hamlet, and the love interest she meets is named Laertes. Does this remind you of anything? Yeah. Laertes is Ophelia's brother, and I researched and I found it kind of disturbing that Laertes has feelings for his own sister. Incest much. Ugh. But anyway, so I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. I was a bit complex and trying to figure out what to do. However, after I managed to get all of the characters together, here was the story. Ophelia Furey, born into the world. Well, her mother referred to her as some sort of born as sin. Her mother was nothing more than an extremist of religion, believing everything was a sin and the apocalypse was coming at bay. But she was speaking of nonsense. Utter, complete nonsense. However, Ophelia, one day, she comes across one of her neighbors who was sunbathing and asked her about her body and why is it so different and why does she have, boobs. So, it's kind of like a deja vu, like where have I heard this before? But in a different twist, instead of her telekinetic powers, Ophelia somehow created monsters, manifest from her own mind because of all of the torment she's been through from her mother. It gets a lot worse when she enters high school. that is where the torment actually begins. It is really, really scary. But anyway, so Ophelia believes that no one would accept her as she was because of her clothes, because of her hair, because of everything else. People would tease her a lot. She hated it. She just wanted to have friends, someone that would genuinely like her. But alas, they didn't. Until one day, some sort of person comes up and asks her to go to this dance. At first she refused, but after he persists, she accepts. Ophelia was using her own manifestation of monsters she created from her mind and used them to scare her mother into submission. Her mother believed that her daughter was some sort of gypsy coming straight from hell. After Ophelia argued with her mother, Ophelia confirmed that she was going to the dance, and nobody was going to stop her. It wasn't until Ophelia went to the dance with Laertes that things turned out for the worse. What happened? You know, the usual cliche: prank, laughter, and then Ophelia snaps. The monster she created from her own head began to come to life and attacked all of the people at the dance, killing them all. As Ophelia watched, she began to have some visions going through her head. And all of a sudden, she walks out, and after she seemed to kill all of her tormentors, there were just a few that were left behind that had escaped. However, Ophelia believed that Laertes was dead, but she found him all bruised, all scraped, and he had a head wound injury. Ophelia tried to nurse him back to health, but all of a sudden, her emotions got the best of her. And also, she began to feel a bit like something's happening to her. Maybe it was the hormones. Maybe it was her emotions. Maybe it was the fact that she was lonely and craved for company. But she ravished Laertes. Laertes went missing. Some believe that he's dead, but I'm not going to give that away. Forget it. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to say if he's dead or alive. Who knows? Find out in the crossover. Okay? Okay. So, anyway. It was quite a bit strange for Ophelia to wander. She was feeling weak and heavy. Her stomach felt a bit heavy, and she felt like she was gaining weight. But then she discovered, am I having a baby? That's what she was thinking. So she felt a bit weak and dizzy until she was discovered by a kind woman. That kind woman actually helps her out. And after Ophelia was having her child, soon she gave birth to a daughter by the name of Stephanie. The name Stephanie means garland or crown, which is similar to the flower crown that Ophelia wore when she died. like jumped in the lake. Then Ophelia was pretty weak, but the woman pretty much knew what she was doing to help the pregnant woman. She knew who she was, Ophelia, and decided to treat her with care, also helping to nurse the baby. And they were inside some sort of barn. Yeah, the barn wasn't a pretty good place, but Ophelia had special powers. Not just telekinesis, not just for creating monsters inside of her head, not because of the clairvoyance, but also healing factor. Her first daughter, Stephanie, grew up to be a healthy, beautiful girl. And as Stephanie was growing up, she had a second sister, then a third, then a fourth, and then a fifth. Soon, Ophelia had 5 daughters. There was Rosemary. Now, if you see the first video game of Bayonetta, you can see Rosemary is mentioned a few times. Luca, the character, refers to Rosemary Fleur de Sile, which requires, in the language of flowers, means remembrance. In the play of Hamlet, Ophelia gives out Rosemary to her brother Lartius to remember her. And the name of the third daughter. After Stephanie and Rosemary, there's Pansy. Now you think, why would she name her Pansy? That's the most ridiculous name I've ever heard. True, but Pansy, remember, it's a symbol of Ophelia from the play Hamlet. So, Pansy, Ophelia refers to the flower, means for thoughts. Think about that. Then there is Collie and Ruth, the ones who are born pretty much with the fact that they can't talk in words. They only babble in incoherent sounds. I'll talk about that another time. But anyway. So, Collie is short for Colleen, which is kind of coming from Collie of Columbine. Not the Columbine shooting. No. And there's Ruth. Rue and Columbine are flowers that pretty much are given to the king and queen because of it represents infidelity or something. That's what Ophelia was referring it to. I might have got this wrong, so please let me know because I'm trying to remember, okay? But anyway, we're going to continue more next time. I'll see you guys later. Bye.